B'siyata d'ishmaya, with the help of Hashem, I want to talk about something very important about Lavan. Lavan, the brother of Rivka, Lavan. Lavan changed the maskoret, the wage of Yaakov 100 times. And the Sifsei Chachami goes on to explain how it comes to 100 times. If you look in a dream that the angel told Yaakov to leave Lavan, it says as follows. Vayomer sonoinecho. The angel told in a dream, Ya'akov Avinu, in a vision, pick up your eyes and see, Kol ha'atudim olim al hatzoin, akudim nekudim uvrudim. All the sheep that cohabitate with the other sheep are kudim nekudim uvrudim. So Rashi brings down the Gemara. The Gemara says, "Oyu amalochim avim oiso miseder amosu biyad leilova leder shevet Yaakov." The angels brought the sheep from the shepherds of the children of Lavan to the shepherd or the group in the hands of Yaakov. And then the Torah says, he says, Ki roisi, you know what I did this? Ki roisi kol asher Lavan oiseh. I see all what Lavan does to him. So the Or Chaim HaKadosh explains there's something very deep.
Where says Ki roisi?
Ki roisi, the Pasuk says, Ki raiti et kol asher Lavan oiseh. So the Or Chaim HaKadosh explains that really Lavan, he had the trophy. Trophy is Avodah Zarah. Certain Avodah Zarah. But this Avodah Zarah was Avodah Zarah that he could see the future. So Lavan was a very tricky guy. He said, okay, you're going to get only the brown ones. The polka dots one, the brown ones. And then he sees through his trafim, his avodah zarah, that in the cohabitation point, the seed, the DNA of the seed had what he agreed with Yaakov. So he changed it. And that's how he had to change 100 times. In 6 years, if he takes 6 years, divided to 100 times, 6 times 12 is 72. 72, which means every 20 days, less than a month, he had to change his deal with Yaakov. And why he had to change, according to Rosh Yeshiva? Because he saw in the beginning of the cohabitation what is the DNA of the seed in this cohabitation that the female sheep will have a baby. But the Malach says, listen what I did. The angel told Ya'akov Avinu, pick up your eyes and see. All the sheep that went on top of the sheep, the other sheep, the male and female to cohabitate, all of them had all the 3 types. Akudim, nekudim, uvrudim. And whatever Lavan saw, he only saw 1 out of 3, 1 out of many. And whatever he made a deal and he changed, according to that, whatever he saw, there was another 3 options in the DNA. And I turned the dice according to what he changed. I changed according to what he said, and he always got what you need. Why? Ki roisi es kol asher Lavan knows. I see what Lavan doing to you. What a Rosh.
He worked with the seed, Dafka.
Yes, because the determination what type of sheep is going to have is the beginning. And the cohabitation.
Also with Lavan, also with Leah.
So we spoke yesterday, the other week, that Ya'akov Avinu was Bechir Ovois, was the best of all the forefathers. He didn't have any seed come out of him till 84 years old. It breaks all Guinness records. 84 years old, as the Torah testifies that Reuven was the first seed of Yaakov Avinu. And not only that, Yaakov was so controlled that when he, at night, Vayiles Erev, and the time came and Lavan changed Rochel to Leah, he didn't realize, because he didn't want to warm himself up to the action, the Maisabiyah, because he was afraid maybe some sparks of seed would come out of him. So he was so controlling that he was totally focused on Hashem, total, till the Mamish Maisabiyah. But Lavan succeeded, Lavan Arosha succeeded, that Yaakov is thinking of this woman, he thinks it's Rochel, or is Leah. So he's living with Leah, thinking about Rochel. And it damaged the Toikef HaKdusha, Mefazer, it spreads, scattered, the strength of the Kedusha of the Maisa of Yaakov, and that's why Reuven lost the Bechoira, etc., the Bechoira of Kahuna, Malchus, etc.
Why he lost?
Because Yaakov is thinking he's living with Rochel, it's really Leah, so what happens? He's living with a woman, which is Leah, thinking about Rochel. That's 9 midos, it damages the soul of the child comes out. So Lavan succeeded, Rasha Berusha. Lavan succeeded to disperse, to break the toikef of Kedushas Yaakov. And now he was a Mamash Rasha Berusha. He had this trophy, and every seed that was a cohabitation with a sheep, he right away knew what kind of result was going to have. So he changed the deal, and each sheep he changed the deal 100 times. But what Hashem did, he brought all 3 DNA options there, and whatever he changed it back. So he never succeeded.
But I want to say this comes
Quiet, don't ask. More than that, good question. More than that Yaakov Avinu was such a holy man, when he ran away from Lavan, he had to run away. Because if he didn't run away from him, Lavan wouldn't allow him to run away, would trap him down. So he had to trick him and not exactly reveal him when he went to cut the sheep fur, he ran away. This is all a preface what I want to speak today about. There's something very deep, which I heard from my father, bless his memory. It's written in his book. Very deep point. And I want to elaborate on this point. That's why I didn't accept the question. It's not the point now. The point that we're going to talk about now. Listen carefully. So this is only a preface. What a Rasha we got, right? What a Rasha. Rasha Merusha. Lavan Mamish is a Rasha Merusha. He tried all the tricks he can to Mamish squeeze Yaakov. Lavan Aramai, Lavan the cheater, the deceiver. And what do you have? We have against him Yaakov, the tzaddik, the simple person, servant of Hashem, learns Torah 14 years, now doesn't sleep on a chair, doesn't sleep on a bed, sleep in a chair. No seed comes out of him, holy of the holiest. And whatever he wants to knock him out, doesn't succeed. The biggest deceiver, the biggest crook, the biggest con artist doesn't succeed to win him. But what's the end game? This is what it is. The end game is something which mamish shock, every person that reads it should shock him. Unbelievable. What's the end game? When Ya'akov Avinu runs away, something very strange happens. He distances himself away 7 days, and Lavan runs and he catches him. Wait a second. When Yaakov Avinu left his house, he had tfisas haderech. He came to Haran in 1 day, in 1 second. Tfisas haderech. Eliezer, Even Avram, with 10 camels, the same day he came to Haran. Boom. He had tfisas haderech. Now that Yaakov is running away, Hashem doesn't give him a nest to run away. He has to travel physically 7 days, and Lavan runs 1 night and 1 day. He tells her those 7 days to catch him. It was all there. Listen what happens in there. Finally he catches him a night before. Hashem tells him, don't speak bad. And I want to go over the words, the dialogue between Lavan and Yaakov, and what is the result of this dialogue. Unbelievable, mind-blowing. Listen what I'm going to read.
He says don't speak good or bad, but he spoke.
Look, we're going to see. Let's see what he said. Hashem told him at night, hey, be careful. Ishom alecho. Pen tedaber im Yaakov mitover. What happens? Lavan told Yaakov, what did you do? You stole my heart. You took my daughters like shvuyos, like captive of swords. Why you hidden to run away and you stole my heart? You didn't tell me that I would send you with singing, with happiness, with drums and violins. Come on. Shaka, right? Okay, listen. And you left away. You didn't allow me to kiss my children, my daughters. I can do very bad to you because you did wrong. But God told me not to hurt you, so I'm not going to hurt you. I understand you ran away because you desired to go to your father's house. But why you stole my God? Listen what Yaakov answers and what he answers back. Yaakov says, I was afraid. If I tell you to leave, you're going to steal your daughters from me. What about your God? Anyone you're going to find your God's boot is going to deserve death. Okay. So he starts searching for he couldn't find it. And then what happens? Yaakov gets angry with Lavan, and he tells him, what is my sin that you ran after me? You checked all my vessels and didn't find anything. Simkoi, let's now make a judgment between me and your brothers. I'm 20 years, I'm with you, and nothing happened to your sheep. I worked very hard at night and the day with a hot sun and cold at night and freezing cold at night with ice, frost, and I couldn't sleep. 20 years, 14 years with 2 daughters and 6 years, and you changed my wage 100 times, tricking and tricking and tricking me. If it wasn't for my father, the God of my father, you would send me empty. Which means he's saying, why you didn't tell me I would send you with happiness and songs and drums and violins? He says, come on, Yaakov, come on. 20 years you cheated me. I worked with 14 years with 2 of your daughters, right? Oh, we're friends, I worked for free. And you tricked me, you didn't give me the right daughter, and another daughter, I worked another 7 years, another 6 years, and you look in your Avodah Zarah, and every time that you see what it's going to happen, you change your deal according to what you think it's going to have, and with the help of Hashem, we lose everything, but I got it. Well, come on, you're the biggest ganav. You telling me you're going to send me with songs and happiness and drums and violins? My hard work, Hashem saved me, my hard work, and he gave me what I got. So what Lavan answers back? Lavan answers back, he says, hey, this is when I read every year, when I read this pasuk, I'm almost shocked to my wits, and it reminds me people in business which I know. Every time I call them Lavans. This is what he answers. Vayani Lavan leYaakov. Your daughters are your wives are my daughters. Va'abonim, your children are my children. Va'atzon, your sheep is my sheep. V'chol asher atavah, whatever you see, It's mine. It's like, you ever heard, I think there was a famous movie 100 years ago, Charlie Chaplin. And so I think what was first base, second base, I forgot the name. No, whatever, some guy, I don't remember, but it was who by first, right? And it goes on and on, back and back, which means it's called a death dialogue. Everybody's talking one thing and the other guy just doesn't hear each other. And the guy says, everything's mine. Everything's mine. So let's make sabris. And then what happened? That's the pivotal point of this Musa Shmus is the end. It says, let's make a bris, let's make a covenant that we're not going to fight. And you take care of my daughters, you're not allowed to marry any other daughters. So what happens? This is mama's shocking. Well, I want to talk about this end story. What happens? Vayishlach Yaakov zebach bahab. Yaakov goes and he slaughters sheep. He makes a mangal. He makes a chafla, the Arab calls it. Mangal, they make barbecue. He slaughters animals. Vayikol echov lechol lechem, they're eating bread and meat, having a feast. Vayochu lechem bo, vayashkolov, and he kissed his daughter, he blessed him, and he went to his place. Now wait a second. You have a guy that for 20 years, with all his might, wanted to squeeze and kill you and destroy you, and he succeed. And Ruvain, and the first seed, he succeed, mamish, to hurt Yaakov. Rasha merusha. And with the money, he's trying to squeeze and turn whatever he can. And then Hashem doesn't allow him to do kfis hasadech, and he has him fighting him and grabbing him. So then what Yaakov understands, I have to make a peace treaty with him. Now the peace treaty here is a fake or real? I want to talk about the Muslims. The Muslims have a rule, they learned it from Muhammad. Muhammad made a treaty when he was fighting all those tribes in Saudi Arabia. And he made a treaty with them, and then one day he grabbed and he jumped on them and he killed them all. So they asked him, where's the justice? He says, no. Udna, you're allowed to make a ceasefire until you become stronger, then you can fight back.
Today,
It's the same thing. Nothing changed. The Western world is different, they're stupid. They don't know our Arabs, their culture. They think they make a ceasefire, it's peace, everything is okay. No, just give us a little bit of energy and prosperity till we have the energy. That's what Hussein, the king of Jordan, I remember, I saw this in a newspaper about 35 years ago. He says, we're making a peace treaty with Israel. We need maybe 1 more 100 years till we become balanced against Israel, then we can't come back to Israel. He said it clearly. Time is not a problem. Okay, we'll get there. Nothing changed.
What happened with it before wasn't really the marriage.
But when Lavan, he made a treaty with Yaakov, when Yaakov made a treaty with Lavan, was a real treaty until he has energy to fight back. Now, how can you make a treaty? That's really the question of the Musa Shmus. How can you, Yaakov, make a treaty, a peace treaty, with Lavan, the biggest Rama on earth, that wanted to destroy Bikesh Lavan, Laka, and Sakoy? He wanted to uproot everything that he can. His Kedusha, his money, his children, his wives. And he still doesn't hear. Everything is mine. Well, he explained, I worked for 20 years, day and night, it's all mine. No, everything's still mine. Mine is like, who by first? He just doesn't hear, just sees himself. Nothing changed. And you have to make a peace treaty with him. How can you make a peace treaty with a guy that still thinks that he's all right? Nothing changed. It's very important, this Musa Shmus. They say in Yiddish. How is it possible such a thing that Yaakov, which is Ish Emes, Titan Emes lo Yaakov, Yaakov is a true person, an Emes person. How can he make a treaty, a peace treaty, with a guy that he knows, to right this second he knows that nothing changed. He still wants to take everything as mine. He's a Rasha Merusha. This was the question of my father, bless his memory. he answered a very important rule. That since Yaakov, and then I'm adding to my father, bless his memory, the Or HaChaim HaKadosh. Since he saw that Hashem brought it to a reality, that he didn't have Kfisat HaDerech, he didn't right away run and a miracle happened and we get right away to his father and finish the story, run away. No, Hashem had a long way, 7 days, had to travel camels and press the borders, and the Sultan fought him in a way. And we see next Parsha, he had to grab his leg and he became a limper, right? The Gida Noshe, he had a whole long story. But he had no Kfisas HaDerech. And Hashem brought Lavan, don't hurt anyone. And even without Hashem speaking in a chaloim, in a dream, still Lavan is one-track mind, still in his ideas that everything is his and is all right, and Yaakov's told and everything is his. 1 second. This is the answer my father was. I really can't say what you say. Lavan was the first one to offer peace. If you look in the Pasuk, it says, Lavan says, Vayan Lavan, etc. V'ato now, l'chonichos abris ani v'ato. Let's make a peace treaty, meaning you. She understood that this is Ratzon Hashem. So Yaakov, which is an Ish Emes, how can a true man make a peace treaty with a Gan of Ramai Shakran, the biggest Ramai on earth? You can never. It's water and oil. It's fire and water. It doesn't work together. How can a true man, Bikesh Emes Titames Yaakov, Ish Emes, can make a treaty with Lavan? No. This is good for the point. What is a true Emes of Yaakov? The true of Yaakov is not a personality. This is the point. The truth of Yaakov is not a personality. The truth of Yaakov is the truth of Hashem. I'm true to Hashem's will 100%. And if Hashem's will, in my understanding, is to make a peace treaty with the biggest Ramai, so I'm full heart with it. And I slaughter animals, and we have a barbecue, we eat bread, and I make a true peace treaty with him. He's a Ramai. There's nothing, that's what Hashem wants. I'm doing Hashem's will. So he's true to Hashem's will. He's not true in his midos. He's a straight guy. That's his character. It's not a character. It's an understanding of life. Understanding of the truth of Hashem. I'm following Hashem's ways. It's very important. Gives us a deeper understanding. What is the midah of Yaakov, which is emes? Emes. Emes means to the last second the guy is treating you the biggest cheater, damager, the biggest deceiver that exists on earth. But he brings a peace treaty to you, and you understand that's Ratzon Hashem. So right away you change and you make a peace treaty with him because that's Ratzon Hashem, and that's the truth. The truth is Ratzon Hashem. Yes, what do you want to say?
I want to know if it's so that the merit of what Laban was able to do to Yaakov really was from the mistake that Moshe Rabbeinu for the Bechor, that he lost the Bechor like that.
Yes.
Not directly from what? He made an opening for him, and then Laban took advantage of that opening.
Yes.
Is that so or not?
It's a different story. I don't know. You have to see the Meforshim and then he's showing you what's the reason all that. Some say he deceived his father in the brachas. See, he got also somebody else to deceive him. Or no, Hashem teaches us for generations that Emes wins all this. When you're a true person of Hashem in the world, that Yitzchak fell, that's why I spoke the other day. Yitzchak thought that the one who rules the world is this religious guy, but Esau, that he's an earthly man. And the Torah is teaching us now. The Torah man in Bes Medrash, the simple person who's praying day and night, he is the one that needs to lead the world. With all the crooked people and all the deceivers people, because he's finding the truth of Hashem, truth wins all deceptions. And that's the point. That's the point what Hashem is teaching us.